Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And in this video, we've got a very, very fun one in my opinion. We're going to each go over our best and worst football memories. We're all obviously big football fans, so this is certainly going to be an interesting one, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's get started.
We're going to start with Jordan and me because we kind of discussed this before we started filming, and we have a pretty similar idea of what our favorite and least favorite is going to be. So Jordan, you can start us off. We don't do favorite or least favorite.
I'll start with least favorite, and that's because we do have the same one that is the least favorite, and you're going to hear why in just a second, and I'm sure it's going to be any Bears fan least favorite. You probably already know what it is. But I'm going to talk about something else real quick. This is probably not my least favorite, but this is a tough memory for me. So I'm a huge fantasy football player, so I get really into it, and I kind of like what people do for NFL drafts and stuff, and like mock drafts. I kind of do that for fantasy football. I study it a lot. I watch videos on it every week to see who I should play, think about it for a long time, pick up players, I'm really into it, and I also get really upset when I lose. So I'm going to talk about two incidents, and he actually has a video of one.
Oh, yeah.
But one was Thursday Night Football. It was Rams 49ers, I believe, and the person I was playing against had a bunch of Rams players. So you had Jared Goff, Todd Gurley. I think he had a receiver too. I don't remember which one it was.
But I think it was Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, it probably was. And just all his players were just going off, and he had like 40-something points, or maybe even more by the end of that Thursday night. And I was just so frustrated. I didn't want to watch the game anymore. And it was actually a really high-scoring game between those two teams. It was a fun game to watch, but it was just really hard for me. So that's one memory. And then another one is I believe this was a playoff, or it might have been to make the playoffs, or it was a playoffs in fantasy football. And it was the Patriots at the Dolphins. I had Tom Brady, and he needed to get me like 20-something points to win. And, well, it was the Patriots at the Dolphins. And it didn't go very well, and I was just sitting at the thing just like this the whole time.
I have a video of that.
He has two videos of these. So those are just very bad memories fantasy football-wise. But now I'm going to talk about the obvious one as a Bears fan, and that is the Eagles-Bears. He's got his head down. The playoff game this recent year with the double doink and all. Now, yes, it's bad just in general, but it's even worse when you're at the game. And we were at the cave. So I'll just go over it a little bit. Before Golden Tate scored a 2-point conversion to make them be winning the game. So that was just really frustrating for us to watch, especially because Golden Tate was in our division a little while ago. So he got that 2-point conversion. Then Tariq Cohen got a big, whatever it's called, return. And then Trubisky led the team on the field. He was a leader. He got us into field goal position. I believe a 42-yard field goal. And kicker Cody Parkey came out, and, well, you probably know the rest. Ding, ding, no good. Game was over after the first kick. They called a timeout on. That one went in. The second kick, the double doink happened. And I just remember being at that game, and as a Bears fan, I'm not ashamed to say that I would usually cry if the Bears would lose a playoff game, but in that situation...
Not speaking from much experience, they haven't made it to the playoffs in a while.
That's true. But in that situation, I was just so shocked that I couldn't even let out any other emotions besides my mouth being open and just staring and almost laughing at how dumb this is, because he had hit the post so many times that it was just, I don't want to say the perfect ending for the Bears, but that's kind of what it was. It kind of summed up.
It was a fitting ending for Cody Parkey's season.
Yes, I guess you could say that. So that kind of happened. That just really frustrated all of us. I'll let Tyler talk about any more details on that.
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about me personally as this kick was happening. So I was sitting there. Obviously, they iced him the first time he made it. Everyone behind the goalpost is cheering, thinking the game's over. They didn't realize he was iced. I did, obviously, because I pay attention to that stuff.
There you go.
Same.
So I was like, guys, it's not over. And then I was sitting there again. The first time I was thinking, all right, the next 5 seconds, I'm going to know whether the Bears are going to make it to the next round of the playoffs or whether they're done. So I had to think that for a second time, and watching that kick go in, it hitting the post, and then being like, oh, maybe it could still go in, because we were on the siding, you can't really see it that well. And then you see it hitting the crossbar and be like, oh, there's no way that didn't go in after it hit the crossbar. It had to bounce back, but you know what?
It did.
It did not bounce back. And I've never heard so many people in one stadium be dead silent shock throughout the stadium. You heard when we were walking out, you could hear one person screaming every once in a while, but everyone else was just in absolute shock.
And they were screaming not very nice things sometimes.
Oh, I could imagine. I wasn't there, but I could imagine.
It was not a good time to walk out of that stadium. Just absolute shock.
Yeah.
All right.
And how about you just talk about your least favorite? We could just go into you could talk about your least favorite because you haven't talked a lot.
All right, sounds good. So.
Hold on 1 second. I have something very important to do.
You can start then.
Oh my goodness.
Here comes.
You see this right here?
Yep. Here
I'll
we go.
put this right in front of me. Should actually probably have this here for every video because we're all in a fantasy football league together with a couple other guys. And guess who won this year? Me. And this is our beautiful trophy.
I didn't make the playoffs. I wasn't very happy.
Hey, I at least made the playoffs. I finished third, so you know.
All right, you can talk about your least
I don't know if
favorite.
this is gonna work. So my least favorite, it was week 16 of last year. The Texans were playing, ironically, the Eagles. So the Eagles have clearly caused this whole table problems. And the Texans, if they win, they're in a position where they could get a first round bye. That wild card game at that they hosted against the Colts that we're not going to talk about, that doesn't happen because the Texans have a first round bye. They are hosting
Oh, it's up.
a team. There you go.
Brad,
And here,
perfect timing.
I don't know if you can see it, but Jake Elliott made a 35-yard field goal as time expired. Look at this. It's a 35-yarder, but still, it was just so heartbreaking because the Texans were winning and they could not stop him in the final minutes, and that destroyed the Texans' chances at a first-round bye. And it was just so heartbreaking because I thought this was finally the moment, this game, where the Texans could take that leap into not just being an average division winner to truly being one of the AFC elites. Jake Elliott and Doug Peterson had other plans as they just outcoached the Texans.
And Nick Foles.
And Nick Foles, yeah, who now he's in our division, so yay. But really, it was just so heartbreaking because I felt that truly, if the Texans could win that game, which they were down like 29-16 in the fourth quarter, they ended up taking the lead, and Philadelphia just had that dagger at the end, and I was just kind of like you guys, I was just in shock because I really thought we were gonna win that game, and I thought we would get a first round bye, and then we ended up having to settle for the 3 seed, and yeah, then some stuff happened in the playoffs, but you know.
Sean
It's
Watson
okay.
couldn't throw a pass.
Yeah, we get it. But hey, we it was only a 14-point game. Could
I
be
give
worse.
credit to Sean Watson though. He's a good quarterback, but he just
He
played
is.
awful in that
Yeah,
game.
I mean, I think the team might have still thought they had a first-round bye based on the way they played in that game. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And then as I pull up, now this is where the fun begins because I'm going to talk about my best football memory. This is a live video. It was live at the time, I should say, of a game I was at, and
The Colts one.
it is.
Oh my gosh.
What else?
This is like one of those commercials we see on TV with the live things where people talk about their celebration, whether it was like I don't remember what all of them are, but just like special plays. And this isn't really much of a special play, but it's special to Ryan.
Yeah.
So. It's
Okay.
a field goal.
Explain it.
So at this moment, the Texans are playing the Colts. Two teams that are going to be very good this year. Texans will be a little better, though. And then this is when the Texans, they're 0-3. I'm
We've
at
had
this
that
game in
discussion.
Indianapolis. Yeah, we already had that discussion, but you guys will see that soon enough, if you haven't already. But, so the Texans are 0-3, and they're in overtime. So if they lose this game, they're 0-4, and that's probably almost impossible to climb out of. So honestly, the difference between 1-3 with the win against the division team and 0-4 is huge. And then, of course, it's your rival, the Colts. You're at the stadium. I'm a road fan in Indianapolis, so obviously being a road fan in an opposing stadium is really fun if you win. And this game went into overtime, tied at 31. The Colts actually took the lead at one point, led 34-31. The Texans tied it at 34 with a field goal. And then the Colts have the ball. They could have chosen it for a tie, but, Frank Reich just took one too many risks, and the Colts actually ended up turning it over on downs. The Colts didn't want to settle for the tie. They went for the win, and spoiler alert, you lost. So that fourth turnover on downs set up the Texans with an opportunity for this to happen. It'll pop up on the screen momentarily.
Oh, here we go.
It's tied 34-34.
You can't really see it, but his
Oh my
reaction's
God!
priceless.
Yeah.
Oh,
It stopped. But there you see it. It's the filter's on there. There's my view. It's going in there. And the funny thing is, they actually iced him. And the time they iced him, I think he did it on purpose, but he actually missed the first one after they iced him. But I think, and people that I was at the game told me this, he probably missed it, like, almost on purpose, kind of just to play with them, because they iced it so early. But then the second time this happened.
Oh my God! Yes! Yes!
And there you go.
Yes!
Everyone else in that stadium's dead silent, and then there's me celebrating my team's first win of the year. And let's say I was pretty much the only one making noise in that stadium, and then that started a 9-game winning streak for the Texans. Always remember that game. I watched that video a lot. So truthfully, that was really easily my best Texans moment in history. And you gotta love beating the Colts.
Yeah, we watched that video a lot. We thought his reaction was pretty
Mhm.
priceless, especially since it was like their first win,
Yeah.
which is also a reason why he could be so excited.
Exactly.
All right,
We
so
needed
now the
that
mood
one.
has changed from sad and depressed to happy. So now we're talking about our favorite memories, and I think me and Jordan have our favorite game of memory. But I'm going to talk about something specifically. I actually wrote a paper about this for school, but that's not the point here. So this isn't the Rams and Bears game. It was a very low-scoring game. Obviously, I was at this game, and I didn't really expect the Bears to win, but obviously I had hope in my team, and obviously they ended up winning that game. Everyone saw that game. It was Sunday night, very thrilling, but one play specifically. This was in the fourth quarter with a couple minutes remaining. Akeem Hicks got to Jared Goff, the quarterback for the Rams, and the place just exploded when that happened. That basically declared that the game was over and the Bears were going to win, because I think it was fourth down, so the Bears were going to get the ball and just take the game over and win. It was just absolutely incredible how excited I was. I saw him coming the entire way. It was just absolutely amazing. I've never felt happier in a sports moment than that. Not just football, but sports moment than that.
And like he said, mine is the same moment. I just remember that game. I'm a somewhat quiet person when it comes to just being in real life, but when I was at a Bears game, I turned it up to a next level, and that was the max level, I think, for me. I remember screaming at Jared Goff and how much he sucks, like I always do at every quarterback, like they could hear me, and just screaming, staying loud with the crowd. And it was just one of the most intense games. It was a low-scoring game, but it was also the game that showed that the Bears are actually contenders, and they're actually like a good team, and it's kind of a game that got people to actually look at the Bears and go, oh, wow, we're kind of scared of them now.
Wow.
And going into this season, I think a lot of teams are a little bit scared of the Bears, so that makes me happy, and it was just such a fun game to be at. It was a 15-6 score, as Ryan has it up. Thank you for that. I'm not positive about this, but it might have been the game they clinched the playoff berth. I don't think it was, but that would be cool if it was.
I'm
But
not sure.
I don't think it was. But I mean, it was just an amazing game to be at. The atmosphere was amazing. Being cold, it was just a cold game. You know, where the Rams, who are a great team, come to Chicago and great Soldier Field. I thank my dad for bringing me to that game. That was amazing.
He also brought us to our worst memory game, but you know, it's okay.
So I mean, it was just an awesome atmosphere, and I mean, honestly, it was probably one of my favorite moments of the year. Me and Tyler were talking about this. It honestly was just amazing to be there in that atmosphere. I was just so happy leaving that stadium, and almost shocked that my team won. Of course, I'm a big believer in my team, but the Rams were a great team, and I was just so happy that we finally showed what the Bears are.
Yeah, that was only the Rams' second loss. They were 11-1 going in, and you guys just dominated them.
Exactly.
And maybe our offense didn't play
Yeah,
very
on
well.
defense, though.
Trubisky did not play extremely well in that game.
Both the quarterbacks.
Goff
had
didn't play.
bad
Goff and Gurley didn't play well either, and those are two, like Gurley especially, he's a very good running back, and we just shut him down. So we kind of just showed how our defense is just a great defense, and that just established dominance to the whole league that game.
Okay, so there is our least favorite and most favorite memories from football. We all picked ones from this year specifically, just because our teams had some really ups and a lot of downs.
Yep.
So just a crazy season. Hopefully the 100th NFL season can be even crazier. I'm expecting it to be. Both our teams are expected to be good this year, have winning schedules. They both won the division, so it's going to be very interesting to see. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We did something a little different here. And yeah, thank you guys again. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite memories and your least favorite memories. There's been a lot of bad things, a lot of good things that happened in sports, specifically football. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.